talking to you about paints generally, and then I'll give you a brief about emotion paints. Then in the next class, I'll now give you, maybe you now I'll have a practical class where I will show you exactly how emotion paints is made. You know, paints are semi-finished products used to either protect or decorate objects, or materials, whatsoever it may be, and then to give it this aesthetic effects quality, make it more appealing. Yeah, you use paint to preserve the longevity of metals by avoiding corrosion, rusting. You use paints to finish your building. In fact, if your house is not painted after building, it's almost an uncompleted building. Yeah, you use paint. So many applications of paint, so many. In fact, there's almost nothing that doesn't have paints and colors. You know. So yeah, so paint is a very very important part of our lives. Yes. Now today, what are paints made of? Paints are made of two basic components. One is the binders, and the other one is the pigment. These are the two major things that makes up paint. In fact, if paint were to be one material alone, it will be the pigment, the resin. You understand? Because that's what forms the coating. That what forms gives the surface a film. If not, it's going to be chalky. So yeah, so paints are basically two major things: the binders, resin, and then the pigment. The function of the binder is to form film formation. And there are so many binders, so many types of binders. And then the function of pigments is to give color. And then for other, there are so many other functions that pigments can perform, but I will just try to make this video very concise. And there are so many kinds of paint binders, but I will just not mention any one for now, since I'm giving a general overview of the whole paint process. So yes, there are other things, pigments and pigments and binders, resins, cannot give us exactly every desired effect we want in paint. So there are other things that are added to these paints to either reduce the cost, or to improve the appearance, or to actually give it some features or some properties that otherwise will not be there. So we have extenders. Extenders includes calcium carbonate, talc, and etc. We have actual extenders. The function of extenders is to reduce the cost of the paint. You see that a paint with more extenders in it, most times fillers, tends to be cheaper. Because of these extenders mostly are not very cost effective. They are not very expensive. Secondly, we have additives. Additives are chemicals or components that are added to the paints, or materials that are added to the paints to improve certain qualities, or to make more pronounced certain qualities. Sometimes we need our paints to have long shelf life, so we put microbicides in them. There are different microbicides. There are income microbicides. These are subjects for another discussion. So there are microbicides, there are coalescing agents, there are pH control agents, so many, so many. Yes. And then outside we have solvents. Solvents are mostly used to moderate the viscosity of the paint, as the case may be, to allow for easy application, desirable application. So yeah, so far there are five major components of paints, production paints, and one is the resin, the pigments, additives, extenders, and finally solvents. So this is where I'll be stopping this lecture for today. The next class, I'll be showing you exactly how pigments are made and how paints are made. Maybe I'll use a simple example, how emotion paints is made, and I believe it will be worth your time. Thank you. Subscribe to this channel. Bye for now.